Chapter 18. It was only when I had Chiwiniso in my arms that I felt life was worth living again. Her tiny head on my bosom filled me with strength that was like a good drug coursing through my veins. There was no way she could understand why I was holding her so close, but I was slipping, and she was the only thing stopping me from going over the edge. I let her go, and she went off to her bedroom to play with her toys. Smoke was coming into the house, so I told my date to shut the kitchen door. It would have been nice to soak myself in a bath, but the geyser was switched off, and it would take time for the water to warm up. I walked to the radio and looked at the pile of CDs. I put on Joe Thomas's All That I Am and remembered when he'd come to Zimbabwe for a tour. I removed it when he started to go on about love. I needed something to chill me out, not some romantic crap. There was a sound of keys in the door, and then Doomy came in. He threw himself on the sofa and said, "What a day, hey?" I couldn't be asked to waste my breath. We needed to talk. About what? Why wouldn't he just go away? I just think we should talk about what happened at work today. He seemed a little timorous. You may be the manager, but that doesn't mean we should bring work home. This is my house, and don't you forget it. That's not what I was on about. I just need to know there are no hard feelings, that's all. Why should there be? I swatted the mosquito that settled on the wall next to me. It burst leaving a bloody smudge. I just think you've worked at the salon for much longer than any of us, and if I were you, I would feel some sort of entitlement when this post came out. You should tell that to the boss. I'll resign tomorrow then, he said, getting up. Our friendship means more to me than some stupid job. Don't be silly. I was stunned he considered me a friend and was willing to make the sacrifice for my happiness. I think he'd be a great manager. That means a lot to me. Look what I've got. He fished out 2 bottles of Green Valley wine. Forward in Faith Ministries forbade the drinking of alcohol, but I thought, to hell with it, and drank anyways. I needed something to drown my sorrows. The sweet wine went quickly to my head. I hadn't eaten, so I was drinking on an empty stomach. There's something else I wanted to talk to you about, said Doomy. Here we go again. It's about the wedding. Don't tell me you've changed your mind again. I wouldn't do such a thing, but I have a problem. I had a date for Saturday, but it turns out she had other plans, so I was wondering if you could come with me. What will your girlfriend think? She's a girl and a friend, but not my girlfriend. Then why don't you go with your girlfriend or whoever she is then? He shrugged and said, that would be very difficult given the fact that I don't have a girlfriend. A guy like him being single is next to impossible. He should have had a girlfriend. In fact, now that I thought about it, I'd never seen him make a pass at any of the girls at work or anywhere else at that. Flirting with the clients seemed like second nature to him, but he always held back and kept things professional. I just assumed he had a girlfriend or girlfriends. You should go with Yolanda. I think she likes you. There's no way I'm taking her. Her boyfriend is massive. I'm too young to die. What about Memory? She's a great girl, but I need someone who knows how to carry themselves amongst people they don't know. And you think I know how to carry myself? I was intrigued and flattered at the same time. You're classy and good looking. I need a piece of eye candy dangling off the side of my arm. He laughed and threw his hands wide open. How about it? I'll have to think about it. Oh, come on now. The wedding is Saturday and I'm not taking no for an answer. That settled the matter. I might have been bitter, but I've always loved weddings and it would be the first one this year. I wasn't going to resist any further. On Friday, we got off early. Jimmy arranged the books so that we had few clients in the shop and left Agnes in charge. The two of us made our way to Parirenyatwa Hospital, where we caught a combi. It was early in the afternoon, so we actually had a whole seat to ourselves. The vehicle wove slowly along, avoiding the potholes. It was a rickety old thing, and Doomy said if we hit one more pothole, the suspension would give. We went past Avondale with its antiquated charms. There was life all around us, people walking in the streets as if they had jobs. The combi stopped and picked up 2 girls wearing extra-large sunglasses who spoke in English with a nasal accent. Back in the day, they would have been called Manose Brigade. Anything that stripped you of you and your Africanness, whether it was the sound of your voice or the nature of your hair, was something to be admired. One day, perhaps Chiwiniso would speak like these girls. Maybe it was progress, but it didn't feel right. Shit, when did they set that up? The driver slammed on his brakes for a roadblock. 3 policemen lazily waved the cars in front of us through, but stopped our combi and told the driver to park near the pavement where another policeman sat in the shade, a rifle placed across his lap. Is this car registered? The officer asked once he had greeted the driver. HoH Ch, the driver nodded his head vigorously. The policeman went round the car, kicking each tire as he went. He gave me a perverted look, but went past without molesting us. When he was back at the driver's door, he whistled and shook his head. This commuter omnibus is unroadworthy. The tires have no treads. In fact, they're bald. There are no reflectors on your mudguard, and your wipers have no blades on them. This car is a death trap. I'm sure if we take it down to the VID, they'll find more problems. I have no choice but to impound it. This car is my livelihood. If you take it away, my family will starve. The driver was clapping his hands and pleading with the policeman. I feel sorry for you, but I have no choice. Public safety is not something we can toy around with. Just last week, a combi overturned on the Harare Masvingo road because the brake pads were worn out and the driver could not stop in time. Ask your passengers to step out the vehicle. Please, I'm begging you, don't take my car away. I'm just following the law, the officer said, folding his hands. Please, there must be something you can do. The driver's voice was cracking. Help me to help you, the officer said in the quietest of voices. That was all the prompting the driver needed. He knew what to do. He took out a large wad of banknotes and handed it to the policeman, who pocketed it in a slow, casual movement. I'm only doing this as an act of kindness. You have to get the problems on your car fixed. Next time, be quick to produce the right paperwork. The policeman waved us through and we left, the combi churning out copious amounts of smoke as we took off. It was my first time at the Westgate Shopping Center since it opened in the late 90s. Its immaculate pinkish walls and the litter-free pavement made it feel like something from a first-world Mediterranean country. The people who shopped here also had a sophistication about them. They wore beautiful clothes and ate ice cream. There were so many shops, all fully stocked. It was a woman's paradise. The only thing that put me off were the prices. I couldn't believe that people paid them, but there were plenty of customers with heaving shopping bags making their way to their flashy cars. Over here, Dumi led me to a tiny boutique full of fashionable clothes that were clearly imported. Seeing us enter, the shopkeeper leapt up. Hey, Dumi-sani, long time, man. I thought you didn't want to come here anymore. How could I not? This is the best shop in the country. Business is slow, man. That's because people don't know quality. My brother Patrick is getting married tomorrow, and the two of us need clothes. You've come to the right place. I'll show the lady around. You know your way around the shop. Just grab whatever you like. The storekeeper showed me several dresses that were all my size, each lovelier than the last. I settled on a strapless red dress with a corsage that was labeled Red Organza Rose Corsage Prom Dress. You made a fine choice. It just came in last week from Paris, the salesman told me. Dumi showed him the tuxedo he'd chosen, and the attendant responded in a weird voice, "Oh, suit yourself, sir," and then packed up laughing at the joke, which I didn't get. The dress was put in a box and the suit packed. I heard about Colin's departure. I'm so sorry. They're clamping down on us. We have to be extra careful, bro, the salesman said quietly as he wrapped the packages. Everything happens for a reason, Dumi replied, looking at me. I know it must be difficult for you. The two of you were close like this. He crossed two fingers on his right hand. Just tell me the price. I thought I saw a brief flash of what may have been unease on Dumi's face, but when I looked again, there was nothing to indicate that anything was wrong. I could have choked when the attendant gave us the bill. The suit and the dress cost 39 times more than what each of us earned in a month. Dumi didn't seem fazed. That's not too bad. Are you going to put it on the account? The young man asked with an edgy smile. Of course. Dumi signed a ledger that was suddenly there in front of him. We took the clothes and headed out. I couldn't help turning back, worried that I had been drawn into some sort of con, but Dumi was his usual breezy, confident self. When I asked how he'd afford to buy us all this gear, he refused to answer, mumbling something vague about how he had an account. We bought ice cream and sat in the shade of a palm tree by the cinema court fountain. 4 bronze elephants shot jets of water through their trunks into the blue pool. People walked by with their expensive shopping. I dreamt of myself in this red dress. In a few weeks, I would come to understand where Dumi got the money from.